Chris is so magnificent. He's been the kindest person.
Thank you.
Yo, we got to put that on the soundboard.
You're absolutely right. Hello, and welcome to Chuds, Grifters and Freaks, the show where we look at Chuds, Grifters, and Freaks. We're your hosts. My name is Chris Anderson, but if you host this show with me, you can call me Shibble.
And I will. And my name is Ethan Sereski, and I smoked a lot of marijuana like directly before recording. It's not something I'm proud of, but I'm just letting you know.
But you are bragging about it.
No, I'm letting them know what condition I'm in. Like, I'm going to see things from a weird, it might be weird.
You're going to have a twisted point of view. Anyway, we're talking about Terrence Howard this week.
That's 50 Cent show, right?
No, it's Terrence Howard show.
No, I meant he produced it. But yes, well, I just want to bring up, you guys, I didn't know this. Maybe you know this. Shibble knew it. He said he's known it for 10 years. Well, I should point that way. 10 years or something. This has been public knowledge. But I don't think enough of a big deal has been made about it because it is really stunning. It is shocking. Terrence Howard is insane.
Well, you say that, but insanity and genius are often two sides of the same coin. It appears that Terrence Howard has made a breakthrough in mathematics. That's right. Hollywood icon Terrence Howard, the man who once played Dusty Rhodes until he got kicked out of the MCU for asking for too much money. Terrence Howard has invented or discovered new truths about math. Let's hop over to the man himself, hear what he has to say.
I have a question. Wasn't that Don Cheadle in the Marvel universe?
Eventually.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Look how smart he thinks he is.
Oh my God, you fucking nailed it. Every second, guys, audience guys and girls and everyone, look at how pleased he is with himself, how incredible, how just satisfied and smug every second. He never breaks character. I don't know if he's truly insane or if he's cultivated this persona, and it's scary either way to me.
Let's find out. Let's see what he's got going on.
All right. Maybe I'm nuts.
I mean, can you imagine being Terrence Howard and seeing that?
Your audio went out.
I'm sorry?
Your audio went out. I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am talking over kind of a loud video. But yeah, can you imagine being Terrence Howard and watching this video and being like, yes, Oxford University. But
I don't know if inside he's embarrassed when he rewatches it or inside he's like, nailed it.
No, he knows. Well, I mean, having not seen how he performs here, he knows he's right. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So okay. How he's walking. I hate him.
Wow. I know we're starting a bit late. We're trying.
Whose fault is that?
I'm going to put this one on you, Terrence, but maybe you should look at what's on your clock. Is it numbers? Because there might be some issues there. They might have made some incorrect assumptions when they were making that clock. Let's see.
Trying to get some stuff loaded up that we won't be able to use, so we're going to do it a little differently now. We're going to do it.
What do you suppose he wanted to load up?
I bet he had a big PowerPoint presentation.
Oh my God. Oh, those poor students. So he's coming out there now his whole script is gone. He's going off the cuff for like an hour.
Yeah, time to freestyle.
Do it manually, eye to eye, person to person. I'm Terrence Howard, and I'm so honored to have been invited here.
I like that also is like a version of like taking your notes out of your pocket and tearing them up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Yeah, because
he didn't have to say anything. He could have been a pro and just done it.
Yeah, but instead he's like, well, I had a whole big speech I was going to say to all of you today, but
But now I'll be performing under a tremendous disadvantage. Will I be able to overcome it?
Who knows if I, Hollywood actor Terrence Howard, will be able to keep my cool in this high-pressure situation that I genuinely am not prepared for.
Look at the frame you frozen on. Look at those eyes. They're like shark eyes.
Yeah, the intensity of his gaze does have me half convinced to whatever he's about to tell me. And that's how he convinced himself. He just looked in the mirror and he said, this. He's like, God damn,
Well,
that guy's right.
Yeah.
Here to speak at Oxford. Chris is so magnificent. He's been the kindest person.
Thank you.
Yo, we got to put that on the soundboard.
You're absolutely right. I'm going to jump ahead to him talking hopefully about some fucking math.
First off, if you haven't made money with AI yet, don't worry. AI is the biggest wealth building opportunity.
Okay.
Spiritually connected to.
You
That
know
was
what?
my
There's a
driving
Q&A that starts. Why don't we just go to the Q&A, because that's where the kids will be asking about the interesting stuff.
All right, I'm going to assume that's going to be somewhere. Here we go. He's sitting down. He's got a moderator. Let's say it's going to be around here.
You can actually, there's no sense of death. Everything goes to sleep and it wakes back up again.
No.
Refolds and unfolds. Refolds.
Okay. So death doesn't exist. Glad to hear that. I don't know if that's related to the math.
We randomly picked a single spot out of 52 minutes. And in that, it's like it's like every second must be filled with absolute horseshit. He just goes, everything that dies wakes back up. And I mean, like, that's not true.
No, I mean, that's not science. I mean, I don't want to talk about anybody's like religious or spiritual beliefs.
No, we're talking about like when you step on an ant, does it like reinflate and walk away? No.
I'm hoping he's speaking in perhaps a more spiritual sense, and it certainly, but he's not the guy I'd be looking to for this. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, I wonder what the guy from Power thinks happens when we die.
And not Ghost from Power. No one cares about him.
No, the main guy from Power.
Yeah.
Unfolds and unfolds. And if you're wise, if you're careful, because you can remember conscious moments in your life, can't you? You can remember moments when you're like,
yeah.
Wait a minute,
I have memory.
Yeah. Wait, remembering conscious moments in my life. You're right. That's just a memory, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember things that happened, some of them that where I was awake and paying attention to what was going on.
So his thing is to say either untrue or very basic things in the most complicated way possible.
Okay, here's the student asking him a question.
Okay.
Let's hear how he responds to
it. He looks sarcastic already. I like the kid. You're right. He's obviously bright,
On the right, he's a very eloquent man.
Great.
The kid in the audience.
Thank you for that question. Yeah, let's go to you.
Thank you very much for talking to us. And also, your view on consciousness and energy sounds very similar to what Dr. Robert Lanza proposes in biocentrism.
Dog, I thought this motherfucker was going to talk about math. He's talking about the universe. I don't want to hear about Dr. Robert, whoever.
He wants to debate him on the grounds of gobbledygook rather than math. It's much easier to prove.
Yeah, the sort of like lowest level of philosophy, the imagine what happens when we die.
Yeah, we wake back up. We already know that.
Yeah, the answer is there's literally no way to know. I mean, what can you say?
I say wake back up.
I mean, obviously, if I had to split the Gordian knot, I'd go with Terrence and say you'd wake back up. Everything's fine, actually. Oops.
So that may be of interest to you if you haven't read that text.
Ooh, snap.
If you haven't read that one, Terrence, I'm going to assume you haven't.
I swear to God, that's subtle English Oxford nerd humor. You know that was a shot. Like that was his biggest gun.
He's throwing some shade.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, maybe it'll help you sort of crystallize these sort of entry level viewpoints that you're saying. I don't know why I came here.
About 5 years ago, you spoke about harmonic wave sequencing.
Yeah. What's he got to say about harmonic wave sequencing? Let's find out.
And how that could
Harmonic wave resequencing.
Hang on. Don't misquote me there, son. Resequencing. These aren't the sequences. These aren't your grandfather's sequences. These are whole new sequences, brother.
resequencing, and how that could possibly solve cancer or
Great gesture there from Terrence. Well,
guilty as charged.
I said it. Now, if you're going to take it out of context.
No, I don't. I think he's like, I said it, and it's true. I think you were right the first time, is that no matter what he says, he believes is true.
Yeah. And you could see, and he's going to be like, first of all, it's resequencing. Obviously, you can't do it with harmonic frequency sequencing. We've tried that.
And by the way, it's just that he's like memorized his bullshit. Like, he doesn't have an original thought, I don't believe.
I mean, I think it's a sort of thing where if you just use enough language and words that don't mean anything, you can sort of make it all work together enough, and like with enough of a wink and a smile when someone asks a hard question. Do you know what I mean?
But I think he's studied every question you can ask, because he's so devoted to this persona that there'd be so much dissonance that he'd explode if he ever had to face the truth.
Well, let's see how he responds. Let's see how coherent of a response he gives to this question about
blue tree curtains,
harmonic frequency resequencing, and it being used to treat cancer
or genetic ailments within the next 5 years.
Oh,
I think that was about 5 years ago. So is there much progress on that? And
oh, goddamn.
That is a hateful nerd. I like him.
This dude he is here to shut Terrence Howard down. He does not sanction his buffoonery.
No, he's offended that he's at Oxford. Like he's upset.
This guy is a clown. He is basically doing what we're doing, but live and in person. So I'm going to tip my cap to him.
Look at the people on the end, how they're liking it.
Yeah, it's true. He said that 5 years ago. What you got to say now, Gum? Cool, blimey.
And how do you propose that this resequencing would actually recode people's genetics in order to prevent them from getting these elements?
Simple. Our DNA is made up of what? 5 elements, right?
See, yeah, all right, yeah. This is gonna be great. He's gonna be doing like jazz here.
Yeah. This is where Ella Fitzgerald is a little shoobity doo wop.
This is where, he is going to be riffing. And look, he's up out of his chair. He is ready to drop some knowledge.
But what an asshole response. The kid asks a question that he knows that he doesn't know the answer to, and he goes, simple, with all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to double down.
Hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. Do you know how they're arranged? The phosphorus sits right here in the middle.
In a pentagram.
And you've got 4 oxygen atoms surrounding it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
That's going to be at such a subsonic scale, though.
Oh, yeah. No,
Is he going to mention that?
No.
Then there's another phosphorus, 2 more oxygen atoms. Now, these are the legs of that double helix. These are the legs. Now, the ladder steps on it. They become the adenine, the guanine, the cytosine, and thymine, the ATCGs. It turns out hydrogen, they used to think that energy, the body transferred or understood the energy information through electricity. They're finding
he's starting to slip here. The cracks are starting to show, Terrence.
Your body
understands electricity.
I mean, it depends what you mean by understand. Like,
Are
it
you gonna
has.
tell me that your body doesn't understand electricity?
Yeah, my body is. I literally, I hear it. It's going like, I know about electricity. What about Shibble's body? It's embarrassed for you.
Well, let's see. Let's see if Terrence Howard will explain what he means by your body understands electricity.
His manner
Out,
makes
it's
me
through
feel like I'm.
frequency. Well, guess what hydrogen
I thought you
sounds
paused
like?
it.
So-
His manner makes me feel like I'm on that ride at the amusement park where you just drop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I want to zoom in for something that I just heard him say.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Let's knock this down to a 0.5.
Oh, okay.
Electricity. They're finding out it's through frequency.
Mm.
Well, guess what hydrogen sounds like?
That was it.
Guess
Yes,
what hydrogen
sounds
sounds like? What does it sound like? I want to hear.
Yeah, hang on. I want to make sure that I'm not. If it makes a specific noise, I want to make sure I'm getting it accurate.
Work.
It's a key of E.
That's Stevie Blunder.
My goodness.
That was a songs in the key of life joke too.
No, it was great. You nailed it.
Thank you.
My hydrogen sounds like the key of E.
Do you know what the key of E sounds like? Offhand.
Hydrogen.
Well done.
Now, okay. So in general, we can see he is a crackpot that if you attempt to call him out, he'll just double down. He won't even hesitate. He doesn't blink. He is ready to go.
If one molecule makes an E, I'm assuming it's an audible sound, not audible, but it's a sound. So with all of the molecules in the world, why isn't there just like a loud booming note at all times?
Because you're only thinking of your own perception, right? Right? When you think booming, like obviously if there was a constant booming sound, we couldn't hear. We're also all vibrating, right? Our brains just tune out the constant boom that may or may not be there.
You're good at this.
The hydrogen is very small, so the sound is very quiet.
You could do this, I think. I think you could be a Terrence Howard if you wanted to.
Oh,
but
I'm
saying you can monetize it better. Like you could make a career out of this.
Well, Oxford, get in touch and I'll give it a shot.
No, like a politician, like Trump. He reminds me of Trump a little bit.
Yeah. In that, he is sort of. It's hard to tell how much he believes.
Yeah.
How much is a sales pitch? It's just like charisma covering up for absolute horseshit.
Yeah.
All right, let's see him get down to the specifics of his math. You
didn't want to hear more about the key of E?
No, I want to hear more about math. I love it.
Do you know what nitrogen sounds like, Shibble?
Well, I have a vague idea. Is that one going to be an F sharp?
What if he had just made a sound and you're like,
that's hydrogen. You know what oxygen is?
You know what beryllium is?
It's a little funky with it.
It's the Muppet song. All right. Let's get to
We're going to we got Terrence Howard now explaining his comments and his mathematics to Joe Rogan.
Do you know that there's a name for the science of what he is about?
Is it Terrynomics?
Terryology.
Terryology. All right. So it's not just math. That it encompasses his entire worldview, his harmonic frequencies, mutating our DNA. Great. Let's hear him talk to Joe Rogan.
All motion is expressed in waves.
All motion is expressed in waves.
So kinetic energy, is energy expressed in waves? I don't even know.
All motion is expressed in waves. I don't know how to make it more simpler. Maybe Terrence does. Also, my man, you got the headphones over your hoodie.
What do you mean?
He's wearing his headphones.
I thought you were talking to me.
No, I'm talking to Terrence.
Oh, well, that's because he doesn't care what other people have to say.
Fair enough.
All waves are expressed in curves. It always makes spirals.
So because of the
Wait, curves, spirals, and waves are all the same thing?
Yes. Now you're getting it.
Okay.
Concept of gravity, and because of the concept of this event horizon, this super point of gravity, this infinite point that light can't even escape, that this exists because of the
Of their
theory of
math.
gravity.
And their math. Remember,
I'm high and he still sounds dumb.
Yeah, this is
Rogan.
Yeah, no, he is. These guys are both kind of fried in their own specific way.
No, but it gets good. Terrence Howard goes off. He starts to really get into his.
All right, let's get to some most replayed up over
Okay,
here.
let's do it up.
comes down to our cells are made up of water, mostly water, 80%, 90% water somewhere. Water is hydrogen. Hydrogen has 12 vortices that's behaving with it, 12 opposing vortices.
So what, in your model, what happens to these suns when they supernova?
Such an enabler.
My God, to jump from the hydrogen in our cells to suns going supernova. I really think this man is just an expert in literally everything.
Well, I think that's the key to it. I think that he's decided that his persona is going to be the smartest man ever to live and an expert at everything. And he is an actor, and I think he wants to make you believe it.
Everything gets old and die.
Everything gets old and die. And does everything
Does it wake up?
recompress?
Has to. And you breathe out, what happens to that air? Another plant breathes that air in.
So would this be the universe itself? Would it be galaxies? Would it be
Everything.
Everything.
You know, he's got a little Cat Williams in his voice. This is what Cat Williams would sound like if he was insane. Do you hear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Behaves the same way.
So as the sun expands and projects and ejects particles, they expand, they go further and further.
It's funny that guys like this will make fun of women for being into astrology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is the dumbest horse shit I've ever heard in my life.
This makes the Anunnaki look like absolute truth.
The sun is breathing. Okay, sure.
When you die, you
Further
must
from the sun.
decompress.
Yeah, there's no action without a reaction, which is why we're all immortal.
And at a certain point, they come back.
Well, at a certain point, what do they hit? There's other expanding stars and
So like waves colliding.
Uh-oh.
and
from
retreating.
the other star systems. They have an expanding.
That's
what
from
is
Star
the
Wars.
Yeah, he's basically describing stars at war. This is Star Wars.
think of the solar wind? They have expanding solar winds.
Mhm.
So when they meet our star meets the solar wind from another star at that end of that spot. Now there's two pressure conditions. So you have another Lagrange spot that's happening there. That
You get another Lagrange spot. Oh.
God, is he fucking obnoxious? He's hard to deal with, man.
Yeah.
What I gotta see someone go, "You're full of shit, dude." To his
Where
face.
talk about 1 × 1 = 2. Give me what I want to hear, Terry.
You don't have a separate video on that?
I have the videos you sent me.
No, I know. Here, I'll pull it up while you're doing
for a
this.
couple of minutes, for 20 minutes. And then I was like, pull out your calculator. And I want you to enter the square root of 2 in there. And let's walk through this loop that is the square root of 2. I was like, let's walk through this, where the square root of 2 cubed is the same value as the square root of 2 times 2. And then when you divide it by 2 and cube it again, you get back to the...
That's not true.
No, it doesn't sound true.
No, it's not true. That's I'm already seeing a problem with your math. I believe hang on, where's my phone? The square root of 2 cubed is going to be something like 2.8, I want to say. Oh fuck! Who knows how to use a goddamn scientific calculator? All right,
I take the
square
over.
root of 2.
I take the over.
to the third.
You're so right. He's got his headphones on over the hoodie, and it makes him look so stupid.
Yeah, it's really, he's not pulling it off. And I don't know, but maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that is like a part of the culture that I'm not familiar with. Yeah, that's 2.828. That is not 4.
Did I get over or under?
It is under. It is under 4.
No. I meant what you said. I took the over on your guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said about 2.8, so you were correct.
I never win gambling.
You won this time, brother.
All right.
Maybe the gentleman's feeling lucky and wants to double his money.
Well, I'll just multiply it by itself.
Well, what you'll want to do is multiply it by 1.414.
Take the square root of 2, 1.414213562373095. You cube it, it's 2.828427121746190.
Yes, that's what I just said. Okay, we're on the same page again, Terrence. You misspoke a second ago.
90. Divided by 2, it gets back to 1.414. Cube it again, is back to 2.828. Divided by 2, back.
Yeah, that's because that's how exponential math works.
But what he's trying to project is that he's doing these calculations on the spot when he's obviously...
He's got this memorized. He's an actor. He knows how to memorize things.
Absolutely. That's the key to this. You have to know when you're watching this that he's prepared as much as you... This is the role of his lifetime.
Yeah, to convince the world that math is wrong.
No, that he's the smartest man ever born.
He's the smartest man because he figured it out.
Yeah.
To 1.414. Here we're taking 1, 2, 3 big steps. We're dividing it by 2, and we get back to the same value as we had in the very beginning.
Yeah, because that's how math works.
Yep. In order,
yeah. If you want to look at it, you're dividing it by 2. It's that in half. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're exponentially increasing it, when you're cubing it, do you know what I mean? That's not adding an entire one. That's adding less than one of them because you're only adding about 0.41.
Do you know what 4 the square root of 4 sounds like?
Tell me.
I thought you knew. I don't fucking know.
It sounds a lot like 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a loop. That's x cubed being equal to 2x, which is equal to x plus x. That's an unnatural equation.
Oh my God, that's quantum second grade math.
My dude, you don't understand how the math works.
Maybe he just never learned math, and he discovered it, and he was like, his mind was blown. He was just like, oh my God, how these numbers work and these like laws, like it's crazy. Maybe he's just super excited about math.
Well, let's see if he can figure out. Because he's going to have a new explanation. He's going to have a new proposal for what times what equals what.
I am excited.
Despite the fact that this old one is perfectly accurate. It's 100%.
Says
accurate.
You, Shibble.
Quantum mechanics and quantum physics equation has that square root of 2 in there. We've been living in this lie, this fostered lie for so long.
No, it was true. It was true, though.
Was it a fostered truth, Shibble?
No, it was just true.
Oh,
that's how numbers work. Sometimes I'll admit, sometimes it can be a little funky. It can seem a little weird.
Does he?
But it's true and it checks out.
Like when he looks at a 2, you know how we think that the value of that is 2. Does he just see it like a curvy line?
See, the thing is, we made all the numbers the wrong shapes.
That's what I mean.
It should be 2, obviously. Everyone knows that 4 should be 2. 2, though, should be 5, and 5 should be 9.
Jimi Hendrix had a song called "If 6 Was 9."
Yeah, it sounds great.
I don't want to associate him with Terrence Howard. That was gross.
Long. Because
and what's the solution to that?
The solution is learning how to multiply volumetrically.
Okay, I'm listening. How do you multiply volumetrically?
How the universe multiplies. And I've already produced all of these things.
Could you explain that though to the layperson? How does the universe?
He's produced all these things.
Yeah, they went to camp with him.
Yeah, you don't know them, but he's produced them. They're in Canada.
Multiply volumetrically as opposed to the way
It does not move, does it linearly. It does not walk on. All of our math is based upon a two-dimensional projection. What they do in calculus, they will reduce the action of all things. They'll keep trying to reduce it down to one moment because they believe Newton's first law that everything moves in a straight line.
He's getting a little tripped up here. And this seems like a basic question. I'm surprised that didn't come out more smoothly.
I'll tell you what, it's not on his dialogue tree. Even if it's basic, there are literally a billion questions you can ask him that would trip him up. So he's just taking the most common ones and they're on his dialogue tree. And that one just wasn't, I don't think.
Well, I think next time he needs to program in, can you explain what you mean? Because I feel like that's an obvious one, Terrence. When you say the thing is everyone needs to learn how to multiply volumetrically, which sounds like he just means cubing things, adding an additional variable.
Who knows what he means? But
he doesn't mean anything.
Wait, that's a weird thing. Wait, well, how did he say it?
Multiply volumetrically? Yeah,
like maybe that's the hardest question you can ask him is what do you mean? Because it's all dialogue. I don't think he attaches any meaning to it. So I think that's literally like a headshot to ask him, wait, explain what you mean by that. Like he'll either repeat the same thing or just malfunction, I think.
Yeah. It seems like he's trying to already divert it into like, what I mean by multiply volumetrically, I mean multiply like nature does.
And also like jazz.
Yeah, you got to multiply in here.
Or everything is still until acted upon. They forget that everything is in motion, and that concert of motion is a necessity. They have to include all the other forces.
So, like chaos math stuff?
That's finite math.
You have to allow for external variables and a margin for error when applying mathematics to real world situations is true. And also, the thing is, math doesn't work that way because math exists solely in the realm of ideas. Do you know what I mean? There are no external forces acting upon 2 + 2.
What are you talking about?
Just concepts.
Are you saying that soul music doesn't affect that equation?
I mean, soul music affects every equation.
Thank you.
As long as that equation is 1 + 1 = me and you.
Involved in order to have equanimity in their equations.
And so how, in a practical sense, does this affect mathematics?
Did he just get out of jail?
I think he just dodged a bullet with that one. I think he worked it out. I think he pulled the bull over our old Eagle Eye Joe. I mean, if there's any man you want interrogating someone, really raking them over the coals, finding every little detail, every
I like
little
Eagle Eye
bit that doesn't add up.
Eagle Eye Joe. Yeah.
It's old Eagle Eye.
You know what's funny is there was just a clip going around of him doing just that to Dave Rubin. Like Dave Rubin is so stupid that Joe Rogan's like, that doesn't make sense. You're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I can only imagine how it must feel to be called out by Joe Rogan.
Yeah, like Terrence Howard literally just went to him and said the equivalent of shibba-da-doo-bop. And Joe Rogan's like, explain more.
It's some wild stuff.
Well, once we let go of Cartesian space and the 90-degree angles, well, picture this.
Let's let go of Cartesian space and the 90-degree angles. That's just a great preamble to anything you're about to say. Let's say we were just gonna bullshit for a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be a good intro to a song, like right before the beat drops.
Yeah, let's let go of Cartesian angles. Hang on, I want to get that again.
That was amazing.
Well, once we let go of Cartesian space and the 90-degree angles, well, picture this.
Let's let go of the Cartesian space and the 90-degree angles.
Makes sense because he doesn't believe in straight lines, right?
It seems like he doesn't believe in much of anything. Once again, forgetting that math exists solely in the realm of ideas, Terrence.
Well, I think that's the key to his math, is that I think he looks at numbers as objects instead of representations of amounts, like quantities.
Yeah,
No, seriously, if you look at it from that point of view, it starts to make sense. Like, he's like, how can you do this with it? And it's like, because they're fucking numbers, they're quantities. And he's like, no, they exist on another dimension or something, you know?
Yeah, don't you see they're all impacted by, you know,
ghosts
and your feelings and our own ideas about what numbers are.
But what's the difference between what we're saying and what he's saying? Like couldn't you just say that? Like, oh, numbers are impacted by ghosts. Wouldn't that be just as like the same thing?
That used to be a 2. But that 2 burned down 5 years ago.
Let's take another practical place. Look at a computer chip. It has all of.
I want a Terrence Howard designed computer chip.
Do you think if you like put a line to a picture of a computer chip and then like a baseball and a rhinoceros, he could pick out the computer chip?
Here's what I want to do. Like a lot of people, I'm very much against the idea of AI, but I want an AI to just be taught what Terrence Howard knows.
Oh.
And then I want it to extrapolate from that. That couldn't be too much worse than what they've already got going.
Wait,
but at least it would make me.
That could be another YouTube channel, Terrence Howard AI.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, all we need to do is program in his. I'm sure he's got to have some stuff that he's written down somewhere, something self-published.
No, they have the transcript of his speech at Oxford. I looked at it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, just feed that whole thing into a learning.
Could we really do that? And then we could predict what Terrence Howard will say about things?
I mean, we could certainly try it. Viewers, put a note in the chat if you know how to do this, because we don't.
Of these 90-degree turns on it, typically where they run the electricity. Can you imagine running at 186,624?
Yeah, you memorize the speed of light, Terrence. You could just say the speed of light.
Miles a second in one direction, and you hit a wall, and you've got to stop, bounce off of that wall, and then you pick up your speed and you bounce off the next wall. And you bounce off the next and the next and the next and the next. How much heat are you building up? How much friction is being built up from the interference in comparison to if it was just spherical?
Why aren't we making computer chips that are spheres?
Is that what he's asserting?
He's asserting that we need to make computer chips that are spheres because
I'm
they
sure
would
they
operate
never
more smoothly.
I'm sure they never thought of that. Like, I'm sure they went like, "Hey, would it look better in a different shape or something?" And they were like, "Nah."
Hear me out. Mine's a pyramid. I made one that's a pyramid.
That's kind of dope. That would look cool.
Yeah, that would look sick as hell. Get back to me if you can make a computer chip where the circuitry is a pyramid.
Mine is a pentagram.
Yes, summon the devil with your circuit board.
No, you could chat with him though.
You can turn it upside down and use it for good magic.
Is that true? Like you can if you turn bad things upside down, like where'd you get?
There's like
make that up.
No, if the top of the star is pointing up, it's for like hedge magic, and if it's pointing down, it's for like devil magic.
That's dope.
Yeah,
just going around. It would build up no heat, and if you allow it to be spiral, which my patent was talking about, that.
Oh, he's patented this idea. So computer manufacturers, I'm going to release my pyramid idea out to the world for free. No patent on that one.
Now, I'll tell you, patents are expensive. So let me put it to you this way. Take a guess how many patents he holds.
I'm going to say 200.
No, that's insane.
Well,
it's still insane. It's 94.
I mean, 94 is a lot. Okay, I was in the right ballpark.
Oh, I'd love to look at those. Oh,
you can find a lot of patents on Google. I bet you could find them. I found some patents that my grandfather had.
Oh my God, what did he invent?
Something that was like, no, it was like a giant shopping cart that they would use in factories to move things around.
That is so fucking cool. And were you looking for stuff about your grandpa and that came up?
I knew that he had a patent, so I decided to look to see if I could find it.
Very interesting.
Yeah. My brother has a patent too.
Oh, that's good. I love him.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my brother.
Absolutely.
First patent was talking about you're able to utilize all that energy so you don't need the cooling systems. You don't need all of this loss or entropy.
Okay. So if I made a spherical computer chip, it would run much cooler. And then I wouldn't have to worry about having a fan in my computer.
That makes no sense, though.
I don't think it does. I don't think it makes sense. I don't know a lot about electrical engineering, but also
neither does he.
I don't see how this ties into math. And
no.
System of numbers being completed. He's just jumping all over the place.
It's hard when you're an expert in literally every discipline. It's hard to stay on topic, I would assume.
I'm going to be honest with you. This reminds me of every time in my 20s when I would be going out with a gal and she would say, I don't need my meds anymore because I've been feeling great lately.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? I'm getting
Look, I know what you mean, and it is horrific.
Yeah. Hopefully my man is doing all right. Terrence Howard, if you need help, reach out for help. Anybody who's watching, you need help, reach out for help. And I'm getting those vibes off of it.
If you guys know Terrence Howard, tell him to reach out to us for help because that would be the funniest way for him to get help.
Yeah, Terrence, we love you. We love your character on Power, whatever his name was. We thought you should have gotten the money to continue playing Dusty Rhodes.
Or we could say you made the right decision, it ruined the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, you really took him down a notch. It really suffered. Don who?
Wait, I was thinking I would wrestle him to the ground and we would bind his hands and bring him to a facility.
I don't think I could wrestle Terrence Howard to the ground. I think he takes better care of himself than I do.
The two of us together could absolutely wrestle this weirdo to the ground.
Okay. I'd get winded very easily.
Me too. I have no cardio. It doesn't matter. There's two of us. I wrap my arms around that neck and you go to town.
I hope by go to town you mean leave, because that is what I'm doing.
Get him, Shibble! I've got him by the neck. I'm leaving now.
I'm already gone.
Goodbye. Tell Terrence goodbye for me as well.
See you
later. When you go by universal standards, that's all they have to do is follow what the universe does. We have the contractive.
Oh, not universal standards like that.
No.
Universal, the universe.
Right. Galactic, he meant.
Okay, yeah.
Galactic standards.
What you want is to emulate the entire universe when you're building a microchip. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Do you know that he's implying that he understands the universe? He's like, all you have to do is apply the knowledge of the unknown of the universe, and you can do this very easily. I can do it. It's insane.
He basically thinks he's like Mr. Fantastic. He thinks he's like a comic book hero super genius.
I think he thinks he's a son of God.
I mean, we haven't heard him talk about himself. Maybe he thinks that more privately. But I think he thinks that he is like Reed Richards. He is on some next level shit.
Oh, I got a deity sort of complex from him.
I mean, there's a lot of overlap, but I'm thinking he's too science-based to go religion.
Is it science-based?
He would have mentioned like a God particle. We would have heard that in here somewhere. He would have brought up God if he was.
Do you know what God sounds like?
It sounds a lot like me.
Side, patented, ready and available. We have the expanded side, patented, worked out already, ready and available, and we've got the Constitution between the two of them.
But
he's like a beat poet.
I keep on. Like anytime we come back, it seems like he's talking about something entirely different than what he was talking about a second ago.
I was just trying to keep up. You're absolutely right. From the time you paused it to the 5 seconds you played, it it has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
He is doing a jazz set up here.
But how does that affect in a practical use? If you're using math on a calculator, what?
Listen to me, Terrence. Do I need to start writing my checks differently? Do I need to tell my accountant about this?
Is Joe Rogan worried, do you think?
What if I've been paying too much in taxes because math isn't right anymore?
That's definitely his first thought, by the way.
He's trying to keep up with him. Do you think Joe Rogan thinks there's something there?
Yes, he does. He's not a great actor, dude. Like he's interested in what's going on here. Like he thinks there's some truth in it. Of course, he thinks there's some truth in anything. I've never seen him say something's false flat out.
No, maybe he's just not confrontational. Maybe he just lets people come on the show and say whatever they want.
He's literally he could kill that dude in 3 seconds. Like he's like a 4th degree jiu-jitsu black belt and a taekwondo practitioner.
But I think also just, his reputation was built on like, I'll interview anybody and they can come on and say anything. And I'll just sit here and be like, that's interesting. Why do you say that? Have a good one. Like he just is a sounding board where anyone can say anything to him. That's part of his appeal.
Is it?
I think so. I think that's why like he's able to take on sort of right-wing guests without alienating
us.
No. Yeah, without alienating like more centrist listeners. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
he
agree.
Definitely pulls off that like I'll talk to anybody. People are to his fans anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
What is wrong with what the calculator is saying?
The calculator right now is still saying that we're on a linear path.
Okay. No, I get that. Like
through time
can
and
I
space?
punch some things into my calculator right now and you tell me what the real answer should be?
If I turn it upside down, will it still say boobs?
Yeah. Or boobies, even.
Oh, that's right. Boobies, right.
Could we even do boobies?
Yeah, we can do either.
Can we still do that one?
No, now it will say the key of E.
Now, the thing is, you have to remember now the 8, really, the 8 stayed an 8, but the 0 is now the 5. So you're going to want to type it in differently.
Will Smith has a little bit of this in him because I heard him talking about how he lives in a universe where 2 + 2 does not equal 4.
Yeah, I think he was speaking more metaphorically. Terrence Howard
no, I know,
quite
but like
literally.
But Will Smith is also an extreme narcissist. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. In that sense, they have a lot in common.
Yeah, that's what links them. Nothing else really.
The thing is, Will Smith has a lot more talent to back it up. I hate to say that to Terrence Howard.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me? Parents just don't understand.
And it's just multiplying things in a compartmentalized space.
So by reductionist viewpoint, by breaking things down to simple.
You're getting it, Joe. You're getting it. It's that the calculator makes everything too simple.
Does Joe's response have any bearing on what he says next or no?
I think in order for calculators to work that way that Terrence Howard is describing, you'd be in like 2 + 2 equals, and the calculator would have to be like, is it raining? How do you feel today?
Oh, you think he's including
what are the 2 things that we're adding together?
Like every external variable in existence is like exerts an equal force on equations?
Not even an equal force, but you just want to account for all of them. That way you can do math volumetrically, the way the universe does.
So we need to invent a quantum calculator. No, that will never be invented. Whatever he wants.
No, for some reason we'll never be able to invent a calculator that does everything differently for no clear reason.
You know what's interesting is that his math that he created is so bad that you couldn't even invent a calculator to reproduce it.
No, Joe Rogan keeps on hoping that he will just be like, your calculator needs to say 2 + 2 = 5. That's all that he wants this guy to say. And he refuses.
Simple numbers that you really can't just do that.
You can try to do it, but it's like the piano. Remember the piano, the earlier pianos.
Remember the piano, the earlier pianos? You have to play your calculator more like a piano. You got to hit all the keys at once.
You know, that's an overarching theme I think that we see throughout is that he thinks that music and sound has a profound impact on the universe and math.
He does indeed. No reason why, though, other than vibrations, molecules, sound waves.
That wasn't my phone alarm, by the way. That was nitrogen.
They had, before they compartmentalized.
Okay,
and
he doesn't know what that means.
No, he doesn't know what any of this means. I think we kind of get the gist here. What do you think?
Oh, we can move on. I want to see 1 + 1.
Everything was,
'cause that's
remember
what
that
he's
everything in
most-
the universe expands at.
All right.
That's what he's most into. That's his big thing. That's his magnum opus, if you will.
All right. Let's see if this other most watched part is him saying 1 + 1 equals something.
Fear. There comes a point where everything comes together, but
He's got a little shadow box.
Pull up.
Is it because that we can create straight lines that we get confused?
We can't create it because even when you look at it under an electron
No one can create a straight line. It's impossible.
microscope, you'll see all the little curved dots that make it up.
He's literally arguing that on a microscopic level, anything won't be completely flat. Is that what he's arguing?
Yeah.
That their pixelation will occur at some point?
There'll be little jitters. Then eventually you'll get down to an atomic level and the atoms won't all be perfectly lined up.
Oh,
Wow.
You speak Terrence Howard very well.
Yeah, no. That's because everything he's saying is just the most annoying thing you could say when someone asks you, like, well, is it straight line? Well, actually, there's no such thing as a straight line.
Does
Straight
he ever
lines
just,
don't exist.
does he ever just go like yes or no?
Yeah, I don't think yeah. You've got it. Correctamundo.
He still won't answer the calculator question.
No, he's still not going to say 1 + 1 should now equal 3.
There are no
holding
straight
that
lines.
in.
Like if you look
Right,
at
even
this,
in a box.
if you looked at this, you'll say, "Oh, that's a square right there, right in
No,
the middle."
sure.
You'll see that square happening right.
Okay.
I would not say that's a square.
Doesn't look very much like a square to me.
Looks like a butterfly.
It looks like many things, but not a square.
What do you think it looks like?
Maybe a flower, maybe some sort of transparent
Oh.
flower.
Jellyfish, maybe?
Yeah,
Ninja throwing star?
a piece of garbage. Is it a piece of garbage?
Don't talk about Terrence like that.
Oh,
there.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at it from the side, from its real perspective,
Now it's a W.
you see that it's not. The straight lines are an illusion.
I didn't see any straight lines.
That's David Lame, the magician.
So basically, this feels a lot like, you're thinking like extra dimensions that we can't see. But once again, you're confusing reality with the realm of ideas. Math exists in the realm of ideas, Terrence. You're arguing about shadows on the cave wall. Come on, brother.
Again, we are being fooled by our senses because there is no motion in a straight line. So all these homes that they're building, and they keep wondering, why do they keep blowing over? Why don't you make the homes look like a mushroom?
That's one of my favorites ever. Oh, that was awesome. Oh,
Keep on wondering why your house blows over. Why don't you make it extremely top heavy? And also exorbitantly expensive to build and complete what?
Why don't you build your house?
Follow
like a
the curvature of nature, and you won't have to.
Have you seen a mushroom?
How about like an anteater if you had to pick something from nature? Like why, or like a tree? Like a tree house? I don't know.
I mean, I get it. Build things more aerodynamic if you're worried about strong winds and blowing over houses. The problem is I have a lot of other concerns.
He didn't say aerodynamic. He said more in tune with nature.
Yeah, but he's getting at aerodynamism.
Yeah,
I think that's what he's getting at. And the problem is, do you know how hard it would be to build a house shaped like a mushroom? That's sort of specialty timber I would have to get. My God, man.
Worry about rebuilding them in hurricane zones or in tornado zones. He'll go right over it. They don't make airplanes that's just a straight box. They've allowed it to be aerodynamic and curved.
Got it. Make round houses.
They actually, where they have hurricane-proof houses that look like eggs in South Carolina.
Yeah, no, fine.
No, I'm not saying
What
it's
does
right.
that
I'm
have
just
to-
yes. Aerodynamic.
Why is he talking about this?
Aerodynamic things are better in a hurricane, but how did we get here?
Yeah, is that supposed to be an answer to anything Joe Rogan just asked you?
Oh, he doesn't answer things. Stop.
No, he is very much like a politician.
Yeah,
we'll just take whatever question, and this is also part of like media training for like promoting movies too. Like whatever an interviewer asks you, you just turn it into whatever you want to say.
Because all of promotion is just being a con man liar.
Yeah, it's just being like, I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I want to talk about what a great time I had filming season 3 of Power.
How dishonest. Oh, by the way, you saw I sent you a link, right? With the 1 + 1 is 2.
I haven't checked my email.
Oh, it's in private chat.
Oh.
I didn't want the audience to see.
Yeah, that's good. Way to make sure that stays nice and private.
Yeah.
Nope.
Man, those headphones over the hoodie.
Oh,
I'll look more eccentric.
All right.
Electric.
I think we're getting the idea of how Terrence Howard is pulling the wool over this guy's eyes. Let's check out. You got Terrence Howard. 1 + 1 = 2.
1 × 1.
Oh, 1 × 1 = 2.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 2. We wouldn't have much of an issue with that.
No, that's true. That one checks out, Terrence. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he's gotten his time and his multiplications confused.
He thought the time sign was just a plus sign, like turned a little bit.
Because he looks at everything from a crooked perspective.
Yeah.
You would be loving this. Look at how smart this would make you look if you had this as the opening of your video.
Harry's Lynch. The music is so obnoxious. Oh my God.
Damn, this is good.
I can't believe this exists.
He made this.
I know and put it out.
He's like, that's me, that's me, that's me. Creator
of the universe.
Thinker. Challenger of convention and status quo.
An exploration of the nature of the square root of 2.
An exploration of the nature.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just as the symbol 2 signifies the combination 1 + 1.
1 + 1 = 2.
The symbol for the square root of 2 satisfies the equation x × x = 2.
Yeah.
Now, on a larger scale, the history of numbers has largely been the journey from concrete reality into the imagination.
The realm of ideas. Like I was talking about. You're getting it.
Does this equation have a solution?
We already found it, right?
Yeah.
We have repeated this cycle in our passage from the natural numbers to the integers, introducing negative integers. In our passage from natural numbers to positive rationals, introducing ratios. In our passage from rational numbers to algebraic numbers, introducing roots. In our passage from algebraic numbers to
Is he
real
laughing?
numbers.
Is he laughing?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we all understand numbers. Yeah, no, we all understand numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
Introducing limits.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And in our passage from real numbers to complex numbers, where we introduce solutions to the equation x times x equals -1. Now, so great is history's momentum that we take these number systems as universal truth. Why?
Well, because they're sort of made up, right? Like they mean what we say they mean.
But they have to, is the point.
Yeah. It all comes down to like A is A. 1 equals 1. You can't argue me out of that equation. And all of these things are sort of 1 equals 1 things.
So his problem isn't that math is wrong, it's just he has a better math.
Maybe.
Like 1 times 1 equals 1 in our math, but our math is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to come up with a new...
Indeed, any mathematician with an understanding of category theory and abstract algebra would object to the special emphasis placed on these particular systems. They are useful in some applications, I will say.
Numbers?
But they are fallaciously applied to all situations.
Math, as you know it, it's good for some things.
Yeah.
Like math. What if you wanted math to be good for other things?
Like jazz.
If you would but open your eyes, never again would they close.
Shibs, he's insane.
And society's strict adherence to the artifacts of number history strike.
That's what he calls our math, number history.
Yeah. Well, he said that. He said history has perpetuated these myths, meaning math.
Oh my God.
I've never seen someone have it. I bet you there's like 1 or 2 YouTube videos that he's studied intensely. Like I bet it's from a single or maybe 2 sources, everything.
I mean, he's been like this since college, dog. He's thought about this for a long time. Yeah, he came up with this in college.
Oh, you were serious when you said he was challenging them about 1 times 1.
Yeah.
And they kicked him out? No, he flunked out. There's no way they kicked him out because they would just be like, you're wrong. Who cares?
Well, hang on. Let me just pull up because I got this off of nobody, someone as credible as Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
Pull up old Terrence Howard and go to his here. Let me share this screen so you guys aren't all just staring at a paused video.
And us.
And yes, obviously our handsome faces. Terrence Howard, a great actor. He has married the same woman twice before divorcing her again.
There are some red flags, huh?
Yeah, that's telling. Well, yeah, I've also heard some bad things about his personal life.
Really?
Yeah, we'll scroll past that. Here we are. Terryology. In a 2015 interview with Rolling Stone, Howard explained that he had formulated his own language of logic, which he called Terryology, and which he was keeping secret until he had penned it. The logic language, he claimed, would be used to prove the statement 1 times 1 equals 2. How can it equal 1? He said. If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? It should be 1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be.
Why should it?
Howard blames his leaving Pratt over disagreements with a professor regarding this hypothesis. He also stated that he spent many hours a day constructing models of plastic and wire that he patented and claimed to confirm his belief.
Oh, so he's mentally ill. Now this is sadder than I thought. Like he's very ill.
So in 2024, Howard was a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience where he attempted to debunk the Pythagorean theorem, claimed he can kill gravity, said he does not believe in the number 0, and claimed he remembers events from the day he was born.
I saw that. He remembers being in the womb. And then, you know what proves it? Is that when his wife was pregnant, he would he would play music and move a flashlight around like he was like making a cat chase it on the tummy. And then when the baby was born, he goes, it loved light and music.
Yeah, that's crazy for a baby.
Yeah, scientific method.
Well, there you go. I think that might wrap it up for old T. Howard.
Yeah. We could revisit if he comes out with another theory, you know?
Yeah, let's see. Keep an eye out. It sounds like he's got a million of them. So at the end of the day, are you thinking this guy's a chud, a grifter, or a freak?
Not a grifter, unless he's a genius. Chud, not so much. He absolutely is a complete freak.
I think that's fair. I think he might also be a bit of a chud. I think this is extremely dumb coded.
I mean, come on.
So, listeners, we report, you decide. Comment below. Do you think this guy's a chud, a grifter, a freak, or some combination of the three?
If 1 through 10 is intelligence and 10's Einstein and 0 is a dead guy, where's the average? Five, we'll call it. And where is Terrence Howard?
Well, I mean, intelligence is such a complicated concept. You know what I mean? I hate
he does memorize all this shit.
Yeah, and you know, he's clearly, as we said, he's a very charismatic speaker. He's a very charming guy. You know, who knows what when it comes to, I'm going to say math and science smarts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Hard science intelligence.
I'm going to say hard science intelligence and knowledge. I'm going to be dropping him somewhere in the 3 range.
Really, you give him that's high.
Well, because I feel like he understands, or he at least knows things, but he does not understand them.
Being able to repeat something is not knowing something.
Yes, and I think this truly illustrates that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the main theme here.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment or ringing that bell icon so you can get notified when we're uploading new stuff, or just drop a follow on the channel. All that stuff would be great.
Yeah,
thank you.
We love doing this with you. I'm high. I'm interrupting Shibble. You go ahead. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
No. Say your goodbyes to the crowd.
You guys are awesome. We love doing this because we love doing this for and with you. And we love laughing at Terrence Howard with you and the next person as well. So join us and spread the word. And we love you.
Until next time.